So in 1844, James K. Polk defeats the Whig Henry Clay in the election. Polk was known as the expansionist president because he campaigned on vows to annex both Texas and the Oregon Territory. As an expansionist, he grew and grew in popularity, but he wasn't always popular. He had very humble beginnings as the son of a North Carolina farmer, and he actually attended UNC. Polk was looking to please Northerners after Texas was admitted to the Union. Polk was looking to please Northerners after Texas was admitted to the Union. And he threatened to go to war with Britain over the Oregon Territory, although he really didn't want to do this because he anticipated going to war with Mexico, and he didn't want to be divided between the two countries. So he agrees to a compromise with Britain, and they split the Oregon Territory. And this, as you can see in this map to your right, the split. The northern part of the Oregon Territory went to Britain, what is now Canada, Vancouver, and the southern part, of course, went to us, what is now the state of Washington. The Northerners are not happy about this compromise. They wanted to see us gain the entire Oregon Territory. Polk wants to land all the way to the Rio Grande. At that point, we did not have the territory all the way to the Rio Grande, and when Polk demanded it, of course, Mexico was outraged. And General Zachary Taylor led troops to the disputed border. Of course, there was a clash with Mexican troops, and this led to the beginning of the Mexican-American War. Of course, the Democrats favor war with Mexico, and the Whigs oppose the war. They predict that Polk won't stop with Texas and with land acquired from Mexico, that he'll keep going. In the battle with Mexico, the U.S. military is far superior to the Mexican army. It's larger and more advanced, has sophisticated artillery and well-trained military officers. And the U.S. wins every major battle with Mexico. In the end, New Mexico and California are conquered, forming the Bear Flag Republic. That is until they were annexed by the United States. And U.S. troops continued to go south, coming in at the port of Veracruz and capturing Mexico City. That's led by General Winfield Scott. In the Treaty of Guadalupe, Hildago, the United States agreed to give back Mexico City, but in exchange it gets almost a third of Mexico. This is the land up to the Rio Grande and included Arizona, New Mexico, part of Colorado, Nevada, and California. In addition, he kindly agrees to buy almost 30,000 square miles in the south part of Arizona and New Mexico. This is called the Gadsden Purchase. And this map here shows you the map that was gained in the Mexican-American War. You can see it's the yellow area, the Texas annexation, the Gadsden Purchase, and the Mexican Cession. The Gadsden Purchase is a little bit mislabeled there. It looks like it's that larger yellow area, but actually it's the kind of brown, the small brown piece to the south of the yellow part. Soon after the United States acquired the Mexican Cession and Texas, there was immediately in Congress some contention over the issue of slavery. So Congressman David Wilmot, who's a Whig, proposes the Wilmot Proviso, and this is never passed into a bill, but the idea behind it is that it bans slavery in any land acquired from Mexico. And the significance of this particular bill is that it joined Northern Whigs and Northern Democrats in anti-slavery opinions. Okay, think about that carefully. It joined people from two opposing parties in anti-slavery opinions, Northern Whigs and Northern Democrats. Okay, so we have all the Northerners united no matter what their party. In the South, the Wilmot Proviso agreed, the Southern Whigs and the Southern Democrats agreed on pro-slavery opinions. Okay, so now we have in the South the two opposing parties united in pro-slavery opinions. And you can see what's happened. You have the country is now divided in the issue of slavery. The parties become divided and the sections become united. The northern section and the southern section. In 1848, flecks of gold are spotted in the American River just outside of Sacramento in California. The word of this gold spreads very quickly and causes a mass migration. Over 300,000 people emigrated to California. People come from the East Coast, but they also come from China and South America. Okay? That's important. We start to see an influx of Asians and also South Americans coming up to California in hopes of finding gold. These migrants are called the 49ers. Most of these miners are single men looking to seek a fortune. They're looking for an adventure. In actuality, very few got rich, and the life proved to be extremely difficult. Some of these camps were very isolated, these mining camps, and once disease broke out, it was very hard to contain the disease. So lots of illness, loneliness, and isolation because they were very competitive. Also lawlessness, people would do anything. Greed drove lawlessness. And exhaustion, people working physically very hard to try to get rich quick. The other effect of mining is that a lot of the white miners, they don't want to have to compete with Native Americans or Mexican Americans that are already living there. So they drive away or kill thousands of Native Americans, chasing away Mexican Americans or mistreating them in very large numbers. California becomes chaotic, and it realizes, with all the lawlessness, with this mass immigration, that it needs some kind of government, and so it applies for statehood from the United States. The question is, can it join as a slave state or as a free state? The Union has 15 slave states and 15 free states, and we talked about this because it upset the balance of slave states and free states in the U.S. government. So of course this starts a bitter fight in the government. So next time we'll talk more about the division of the country, how the country is divided along the lines of slavery. But that's it for now.